Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records, and we're talking today about a quote that Herbie Hancock made yesterday about why jazz is not part of the pop scene anymore. You know, prior to rock and roll, prior to the 60s, jazz was king. Jazz was, cool in college and, kind of the intellectual young person thing to get into. Charlie Parker and Miles Davis and Dave Brubeck, and the list goes on. And really, from the beginning, country music obviously was around, the blues music was around, but jazz, really did have its heyday in the 50s. Rock and roll gets invented, and young people gravitate towards that. Jazz was still big in the 60s, jazz fusion in the 70s, but really it's become kind of, frankly, an older person's thing, and it's a little bit of a novelty at this point. Here's what Herbie Hancock says. He says, because music doesn't, he says the reason why pop's not part of the pop scene anymore is because music doesn't matter anymore. People don't care about the music itself, they care about who makes the music. The public is more interested in celebrities and how certain artists are more famous than the music they make. He said people just want the glamour. Jazz doesn't want to be part of that. He goes on and says jazz is about the human soul, not experiences. Jazz has values. It teaches us to live in the moment, to work together, and above all, respect others. He said, when musicians get together to play, you have to respect and understand what the other is doing. And this kind of leads me to a broader topic, and that I've thought about for a long time. And prior to the advent of MTV, we're listening with our ears more than we're looking with our eyes. When you to see a rock star really prior to MTV, yeah, there were some videos out for some bands, but it was about the radio. It was about buying records, about looking at the album cover to see who the artist is. But it was about going to see live concerts. It was about buying Rolling Stone magazine and Cream magazine and Circus magazine and Hit Parader and all those things to see color pictures, of our rock stars and the posters on our walls. MTV changed all that. It became about how you looked. As the 80s wore on, the hair metal scene, how many hot chicks can you put in your video, on a Jaguar, and prop up some kind of ordinary music, the sex part of it was selling more than the music, and it didn't matter, really about the music. It was about how provocative the video was, with the advent of hip hop, how provocative the lyrics could be. And the music, the soul of the music just kind of rotted away. And by the way, you better be good looking if you're going to be a successful artist. You better look good. More importantly than sounding good. Sounding good was on the back burner. And, it's a shame. It's a shame that artists get marginalized, maybe because they're not that cool looking, or they don't use social media as well as some other people do. They aren't able to reach the masses because they're not going to sell to people that really are buying an image, buying a look, buying what's fashionable, buying glamour, as Herbie Hancock says. It's I'm not here to preach that jazz is the, the greatest thing, that needs a road that everybody needs to go down, but it is amazing to hear music without lyrics, without a message vocally. The message is in the music. The music is organic and it's played by human beings. And there's people like Robert Glasper and Kamasi Washington that are using some hip hop into their jazz that's out there today, and it's fantastic. Hybrid. Roy Hargrove with his RH Factor, rest in peace, Roy. He was doing some hip hop into jazz too, and of course, Miles Davis got the funk into the fusion and jazz, and it's just amazing. And I'm on a huge Miles Davis trip right now, just diving back into these records. But that's my rant for today. And I agree with Herbie. It's not about the music anymore. It's about how famous you are, and it's sad. And peace out. I do shows every single day. Gonna go see Blues Traveler tonight. I should get a review up tomorrow. See ya.